Many people assume that all artists are the same, born with the innate talent, where you will just wake up and grab your tools and start applying strokes and paints here and there. But that's not always the case. It's not always the reality. Not all artists have an instinctive grasp of form, strong visual memory, and natural sensitivity to color. There are other artists existing somewhere who are not born with the skill, but have to learn how to apply it. They have to practice 10 times harder than those born with it to be on the same page. These type of artists don't naturally understand visual art with dimensional value. They don't understand how to apply the strokes. So to figure out how that works, they have to learn on their own, or go to art school or something, and then practice more and more to finally learn how to apply strokes. There's no name for these kind of artists. It seems the world doesn't know they exist. The major drive to these artists is the passion. Not all gifted artists have the passion, but definitely, all ungifted ones have the passion. And that's the particular reason they have gone this far. So they basically have an edge in that. But there's a downside, where they are not comfortable and relaxed enough in the initial stage of learning. And for this particular reason, they're often exhausted. This is a stage they start questioning their capacity. And they kind of get jealous of the gifted ones for how easy they find the act. Here their credibility is questioned until they realize they're wired differently. And it is at this point they start to notice and focus more on their strength, which is their passion. They just realize they're there for their passion and can practice and learn new bases for as long as possible, as opposed to the most gifted artists who are just there because they're gifted. More passion equals to more time to practice, and more time to practice equals to becoming better. They just realize their superpower at this point. They might not be gifted in the art, but they're gifted in adapting and staying in the game for a longer time, without burnout, because they wouldn't have decided without the passion to begin with. Although, each time they get greeted by their own failures, and even get rubbed in the face by the gifted artists the moment they unveil their masterpieces, they hold back their tiny anger, because at this point, it could have been them. This new, confused feeling activates their ultra instinct, which burn their passion even fiercer. This is the stage they get more serious and put more dedication in there. They're not joking around now, except when it's time to eat and sleep. But exhaustion sets in later. But looking back to see where they started made them proud, and rekindles their passion for a slight finishing push. They have broken some bones, stretched some brains, and popped some eyeballs in the process. This is the stage they started to walk in godlike fashion. It's now easier for them to judge their arts all by themselves, instead of some other artists doing it for them. They have become a professional critic, and this is where they hold their shoulders high, because it's easy to make quick adjustments this way, after some error. One day, while scrutinizing their artwork, they found out that something is missing, and one of the things missing is usually the professional stroke. All artists have superior muscle memory that confidently controls the coordinations in the hands and arms. So to build that, it requires a lot of practice, specifically designed for this purpose, for faster results. That precision stroke depicting professionalism is something to die for, but it doesn't come easy. With a shaky hand, a good sketch, and a decent art can be made, but a more professional finished product requires more steady hand. So smooth strokes is a prize, and it must be earned. So this is the stage the focus shifted, from achieving the goal of getting the right proportions to that of getting the enviable smooth stroke the other artists possess. Initially, what is perceived to be the easiest to achieve has turned out to be closest to the hardest. After several attempts to push forward, it proves even harder to achieve as an ungifted artist. Now they have to abandon trying for a while and focus on having a different angle drawing. This stage is where the most artists give up, even the gifted ones. At this point, they're reflecting their whole life choices in 3D. It's like fighting the final boss in a video game. Only the strongest artists can make it past this stage. So they temporarily give up this stage too, and head back to mastering stroke controls one more time to see if they can get enough momentum to break through the previous stage. It's now more like back and forth game. Meanwhile, learning how to draw with those smooth strokes is still as hard as before. But watching other artists like them succeed keeps more hope alive. Then finally, after a year or two of non-stop practice and enough dedications, they have succeeded. But yeah, except that they can't replicate their characters in different angles, which is limiting the workflow. That is the nightmare they don't have to stare at for too long. Since they can't naturally read 3D, so as usual, it will take them longer time compared to the other artists who are gifted. Learning how to take it a bit at a time and going for plain shapes makes it even easier to perceive. This has to take like a long 4 to 5 years with dedicated time to master. Meanwhile, the gifted artists only have 6 months to 2 years to master the same art. They can't just compete head-on, but then again, the passion will speak for itself in a long run. This is the stage every artist is looking forward to executing in order to land a role in animation or professionalism industries. After being in the learning phase for at least 3 years now, it's kind of feeling like a trap now, especially when they could have given up 2 years ago. So facing this situation means facing it head-on, without even breathing. You can breathe, just joking. Here is where to double down and source for different mentors. Read books, eat more food, drink more water, practice, sleep. Then do the same thing over and over again the next day. This is the particular stage stress will become more like a daily habit, and the eyeballs coming off can be visible now. Even normal dreams will become nightmares, where the drawings are chasing you and asking you to do better. Passing this stage is like getting a doctorate degree or defeating a boss in the game. After a while of continuous grinding, they finally did it. They can draw anything they like in different camera angle. There's now celebrations going on all over the places. But when they think it's all over, they get hit by another problem. Painting. To learn the basics, it will take months, or maybe a year or two. But mastering the realistic technique will take nothing less than 5 years of studying and cracking some bones. This is a whole lot different from what they used to know, and it comes with a distinct perspective. But the good thing is, they will only need the basics before being hired or doing their own stuff. But to have a better chance than competitors, they will need some extra work by learning how to use different tools and as well, realistic painting. To have greater opportunities comes with being more versatile in the field, and to that, it will require a lot of time. You have already spent almost 5 years, but they have seen a lot worse than this, so this should be a walkover. Except that, it's a trap over. It's like stepping into the multiverse of art technique. There's a lot to learn. From the brushworks, which kind of look like a pencil stroke, to the painting compositions, and then the shadings and tintings, which require to develop some kind of special eye to see values. And of course, they are not gifted, so it will take some more time to develop that superpower vision. Here comes the color variations from the primary colors, and with proportions to get the undertones, the treatment, the layers. It's a lot. It isn't as easy as thought. While the gifted artists are busy walking all over the places, making this stage look like a normal day, the ungifted ones are freaking out behind the stage, wondering if this is the right place for them. But then, when they have gone this far, nothing is going to hold them from progressing even further. By now, they started watching professionals mixing some paints like they're preparing a recipe, applying paints on layers like they're cooking it. But out of those chaos, it becomes clear and comes to life. They start to nod like this is it, the method. But after making some attempt, they decided this is not for them. Then here's another professional, painting on stages instead of layers. Noting their head again like a gamma lizard, and hoping this is the easier method that's definitely going to work, but greeted by even worse failure. Instead of a masterpiece, they have a masquerade. It's a lot keeping up to the tones and dimensional outlook. A lot of trial and errors have occurred, and the only thing that has never been done now is giving up. At this point, they realize, watching alone wouldn't save them, but to source for the professionals. And this is where they start using black and white and having not to worry about the hues, and as well, competing with the other artists. They're not just taught how to paint, but the right mindset that comes with it. Trying to hold everything at once is a waste of energy. Being a great artist is not just about being born with the talent, but the creativity, the mentality, and the passion that comes with it. This is the final stage that they will not just hold their shoulders high, but also their head, because if they can become as great as the gifted ones, it only proves one thing. They're also born with the gift, but just differently.